Yeah. My life? My life? I am. Alright, hello guys, and welcome back to another top lane coaching session. Today it looks like we're going to be doing some Set, Ilaoi, or Darius. I would imagine depending on the game and what the client feels like playing. But as usual, if you do like the style of coaching that you see in these videos, take a look down in the description and you'll see a link to my Fiverr page. There you'll be able to see the 3 packages available. You've got your basic package, which will get you a VOD review. You've got your standard package, which is the sessions that you'll see in these videos. And you've got your premium package, which will get you 4 standard packages, 4 standard sessions for the price of 3. Normally do 1 a week for 4 weeks, but the scheduling is flexible on that and you can do it however you want, really. So yeah, do take a look. Let's give the client a call and see what's going on.
Hello.
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Nice. Uh,
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about the champions that you play and your experience on them.
I usually play mostly Lawi
Mm-hmm.
and then Set usually, and sometimes like Yorick and like the basic, a lot of damage top champions,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know. That's basically it. Lawi and Set I usually play.
Okay. Um, what do you think you'll be playing today?
Probably Lawi or Set.
Okay, I guess depending on matchup, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm not very good at like counter picking other lanes. I don't know. I'm not like very aware of what counter picks what. So
Okay,
I just go with the ones I know well. You know.
I think that's fine. It's better to play what you're good at, uh, and it not be the best in the game than try and play something you're not proficient at. Just try and fit into what the game needs. Do you want to?
What champions did you main? Oh, do you main like?
I've mained a lot of things over the years. Like last season, I was maining Nasus. This season, at the minute, I'm maining mostly Riven and Ambessa. I've mained Cassante. I've mained Gangplank.
Uh,
Yeah,
Kesante when he like when they released him, I played him a lot,
yeah.
but I never got. He was super good the champion, but I never understand how like. I usually fall off with him. He doesn't deal so much damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
I
feel
had
like
I
this.
had the opposite with Cassante. I thought Cassante was really good late, but you just had to get
Uh,
through lane. But now he's like a completely different champion. Really
so
weird.
he's very nerfed.
I don't think he's nerfed. I think he's just different. Like he's just a completely different champ. Kind of like
Uh,
when a champ gets reworked, you know,
it's
it's
not the
just
same.
yeah, it's just not the same thing.
Uh,
Okay, if you share your screen, then you can queue up for a game, and we'll see what champ you feel like playing, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about that champ.
yeah. Okay, okay.
So what made you start playing Set and Delawi?
Uh, I don't know. I like the. I think they're so aggressive early,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually try to get always first blood. And probably and Lawi, I just like just because Tyler One is playing him, I started playing her, and she's so strong. So I like I always make new accounts with like basic elo that is not touched, and then I'd like go with Elawi to plot, and then just stop there because in plot they know how to play against her usually.
Okay.
I'm also very bad at like the runes.
I think for Alawi, there's going to be two pages. There's going to be either Grasp or Conqueror. Yeah. I would take like Conqueror into very tanky teams and Grasp into teams that are not so tanky.
Okay.
Grasp also, if you have like a hard lane matchup, Grasp is really strong in the lane.
I feel like I always go grasp. I never go like conqueror
Yeah,
because I thought conqueror was like it only heals you. It heals you when you get the stacks. But maybe it does more damage or something.
you'll do a lot more like DPS with Conqueror because of how much AD it gives you when you stack it.
Oh, okay. Bro, I need to learn the runes as well because when I watch like people streaming, they always pick the runes for like the matchup every time,
Yeah, yeah.
and I just go with like the standard the Riot Games have made. So where from Britain are you?
I'm from a little place called Sheffield in South Yorkshire.
Ah, okay.
Okay, this is a good matchup for you. I'd probably just go Grasp if you want to play Alawi, because Conqueror, it's going to be difficult to... Basically, the way to think about Conqueror is like, can I keep hitting over and over again? So if they have lots of like melee champions, Conqueror is pretty
Yeah.
good, but it's kind of hard to keep hitting Syndra and Aphelios and Nico to keep it
Oh yeah,
stacked for a long time. So
but it's 12 stacks, right?
yeah,
You have to hit 12
but
times to get the stacks.
as melee you get two. As range you only get one.
Oh, okay.
So as melee you need six.
Oh, okay. How long have you played League of Legends?
Since season 3. So I think that's 11 years now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I used to play back then as well, but I was pretty bad then. But it was very fun back then.
So what do you normally build on Alawi? What are your builds normally looking like?
Usually I build Trinity Force,
Okay.
and then this one depending on who I'm facing, and then I think this one as well.
Yeah.
But I never like if you watch like builds online on Ilawi, they usually want you to go like Iceborne Gauntlet and Black Cleaver, like the combo.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I feel like I don't deal any damage when
It
I
is
do
lower
this.
damage. The reason a lot of people go Iceborne is that it helps you to land the E. And also the tentacle slams, right? Um it in some matchups you need that. I think in Cho'Gath matchup it's fine to just go Trinity.
Yeah. Okay.
Some notes.
Also, my warding is really bad.
Okay, we can talk through how to ward and when to ward. We'll do that in the review. Nice. Very nice. I like how you spaced between your cooldowns. You moved forward when you had them up, you moved back when you had them down. That's good.
Yeah, I think like the mechanical part of the game is I played very long
Mm-hmm.
for many years, so I have that down, but like the macro of the game, I'm really bad at. Like here, I'm staying here. I don't know what should I do here. Like go back?
I would have gone back, but it's too late now. But what you can do as Ilaoi is, yeah, like play between those tentacles, and if you let the melees walk between them and W them, and then you Q the backline, and you just push.
Yeah, it's usually what I
And then you
do.
can base. Nice. Ah, that's a shame. That's fine, because you have TP. It's not a bad death. But now that you don't have TP, you definitely don't want to die like that.
Yeah. Should I ward here?
You can, because you know he's topside, but I would assume he's gonna base the Viego. But he might not, so it's safe to ward. You're not gonna need your next one for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, or that's a problem I do as well. When I go down to ward, I ward two times. Like I ward here, down to the right, and also I ward this bush, so I ward these two
Ah, okay.
at the same time.
Yeah, you only need the one, just the river one.
Yeah, okay.
Most of the time. Nice. Nice. I was wondering if you knew how to play the dive.
Yeah, I fucked it up a little bit.
A little, yeah. But I think honestly, like you kill him alone there. So even if Nocturne doesn't come, I would go for that dive.
Yeah,
And you're in a really good spot now.
I should have bought a ward maybe
Okay, so
instead.
oh, what the hell? Okay, never mind. What I was going to say is Viego should be top right now, but he's not. He's bot. We just saw him on the minimap. So I guess what he did is he invaded our bot side and did those camps because like his top camps are up. Oh no, that's Nico pretending to be Viego.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So Viego is top. How do you think I? Oh no, he's not. He's bot. Okay, maybe he did invade bot side, but I expect him to be top there.
yeah. Should I let it push here?
I would let it push, yes. But what I would do is I would try. You want to try and keep the amount of minions big enough that it will push, but small enough that it doesn't crash into the turret. This is really good. And I would get your like this tentacle that's about to spawn. I would put it on like the little pointy bit of that rock. There you go. Because now when this wave comes, it's gonna push in a bit, right? And then you've got your tentacle ready instead of having to like wait for one. once it gets there.
Yeah.
Now you can try and hold the wave here. Yeah, if people try to fight or take your tentacles, you fight them for them. Ah, that's a shame. If that E hit, I think he's actually dead.
Yeah.
Okay, though, this wave is really good for you. You just keep it here, like he can't play the game. But just try not to like break the freeze.
I don't know why he's not doing any damage. I didn't want to waste ult on this. Like, maybe it was stupid. Maybe I should have ulted there.
No, I think I was going to talk in the review about how to play that, but what I think you should have done is just eat him off of the Ari charm, and then you can just hit the clone from range. And if he wants to walk into you, then that's fine because you've already like been fighting his clone and healing instead
Oh,
of just Wing straight into melee range and twist fighting. But generally, if someone on your team has a CC, like their Ari has E, that's like
yeah.
definitely your time to E because your E is insanely OP. It's just you have to land it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little stupid with it because let's say I E somebody and I'm in range of fighting him instead of the ghost or whatever. Then I usually fight him a little bit because it deals more damage. But maybe it's better to just like
No,
out.
I think that's good. In general, if you can ever hit both, that's ideal. Nice movement.
Oh, I'm dying here. Oh,
You should be fine. You can just base TP. Okay, so the main reason that got difficult is he punished your E being on cooldown when you missed it.
yeah.
There's like really good windows to hit E's, but you're Eing before them, so we can talk through that a little. Okay, he got a little greedy. You can push the
Yeah.
wave now. Nice. Just base.
How did you learn like all this information? Like
Um,
when to base and how to freeze and where did you learn it? Or did you also take
a lot of
coaching?
trial and error. I've played on teams in like minor EU leagues, and I've had coaches before as well, like for the team.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've watched a lot of pro play.
Would you TP here or just walk?
I would
Because it's
walk.
pushing. Yeah.
I would never move to that, even if unless they're like 1 HP and I can kill them, but I'll just go get my wave. One thing I would say is to be quite careful or like mindful of your tentacle placement because you kind of screwed yourself over a bit with that one. You know,
Yeah,
because
it's way over here.
it doesn't allow you to place tentacles within a range of it as well, so you can't actually place any down the lane now unless you go on the top wall.
Oh, okay. He has no mana.
Nice.
I can't see who's here. What?
Oh, it's Nico. I forgot they had a Nico, to be honest.
Yeah. Me too. What? Ah.
Nice. Good buffer. Definitely try to stay with your tentacles in these situations.
Yeah, I got very greedy.
Yeah. It's not so much a bad thing that you're chasing like the player, that's fine. It's just
Yeah.
you're not chasing him to somewhere where you have tentacles. If he was running like down the lane towards those two tentacles, then it's a lot better. But he was running towards river.
So this fight you would just have left it like, okay, it's fine, whatever. I made it
I would
alive.
have I would have killed his clone, and then if Nico wanted to stay within tentacle range, I would hit her. And
Oh,
then
okay.
if they both backed off, then cool. You know, you just ate a gank and you played 2v1 and won. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm playing like I either get like super ahead
Hmm.
or I like fall behind because of this. Because I play every angle instead of like only taking good angles. Oh. Maybe it's stupid to go down now.
Yeah, I would just push mid wave and then go back to top so that you're not losing top tower. Good tentacle. Nice. Good QE.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, why is he so fucking fast? What the fuck?
I think you could have just eat him and fought in the E. Syndra only has burst. If she doesn't one-shot you, you just heal through everything she's got. As soon as she didn't one-shot you, I think you just use turn on her.
Yeah, I should have gone for it. Ah, fuck.
Okay, maybe winnable. Okay, I think regardless of how this game is going, this is good. The main thing for me is just to watch and observe and like see where you're at, and then I can figure out what the best things to teach you are to sort of fill up the gaps. I don't
Can you
think
see much gaps right now?
a few. I don't think there's too much mechanically. It's more like being conscious about when you're using your spells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think the main thing is to understand in lane specifically, understand what a small win is and why it's a small win, and play for them consistently, and then use those small wins to get a lead. And then once you've got it, you can start just running at people.
Yeah, I don't know what I did there. Yeah.
It dealt a lot of damage.
Yeah. I didn't want to TP in there with like so low HP.
Uh, yeah. The difficult thing about TPing in as Alawi is that you don't have your tentacles set up. You generally want to be playing fights sort of on your terms, which is difficult when you're this far behind. Ilaoi really likes being ahead in the game. It's a very snowbally jump.
This jungler is like trash talking me, but he did nothing all game almost.
Okay. Um, yeah, you just ignore people in this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't help to like look at what people are typing. What is the little tag after your name on your account? Is it just US?
Like, how do I check it? Like here?
If you just hover over the little, there's like next to your name, there's two little squares in the bottom left. Sorry, on the left side.
Here.
Up a bit.
No.
Like next to where it says your name, there's the two little squares.
Oh, there.
There you go.
Oh.
1732. Thank you.
Ay, 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 ay.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into your game and we're going to review it. And I'll share my screen to you.
Yeah, okay. I bought like coaching maybe 3 years ago or something, 2 years ago.
Okay.
First time going plat. And then I only did jungling.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. But then I started, when I came back to League of Legends, I started doing top because it's more fun, I think.
I also think
But
top is more fun.
it's much more harder. Like top lane is so far away from everything. So
Yeah,
in jungle you can control the game a little bit more because it's like you're everywhere. You can go everywhere. But in top lane you need to stay at top lane and farm as well as being on the map. And there's where I'm falling off. You know,
yeah.
the control of it all.
Okay. Right from the very start of the game, I never like to have this. So as Ilaoi,
Are you sharing your screen?
oh, maybe I didn't turn it on. Maybe I'm dumb. One sec. There you go.
Okay.
Oops,
Oh,
I got rid of it. One sec.
no worries.
There you go.
No, it's only a picture of you and your girl. I think it's I don't know.
Is it working?
Or do I have to join it? Oh yeah, I have to watch. Yeah, never mind. Okay, here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, now.
Okay, so the first thing in lane is Ilaoi is going to be your tentacle placement. So this one really sucks. The reason for it is that it can only hit if the wave is like here. It doesn't really do
Yeah,
much. But it blocks like this one and this one. You have to go all the way to here now to create a big enough gap to place another tentacle, and same you have to go all the way here. Um, a really good tentacle setup is to have one here. So at the start of the lane, you just walk and stand here, and it will spawn here. And then you walk and stand here, and it will spawn here. And you can do like this. So by doing this, if the wave's ever on your side of the wave and you're here and you E them, you'll get this like 4 tentacle slam,
yeah.
like this. And then from here you can sort of, as you if you're winning and you're pushing, you can progress it up. So it goes in kind of like a square. So you have like one here, one here, one here, one here, and then you can get one here. And then you used to be able to get one. Oh, they move. You used to be able to get one down here, but there's no wall there anymore, or like down here. So now it's just on the top side that you get one, but you can get like, yeah.
This makes like a big difference for me because I thought like the tentacles was only like it has like a max range, then you can place another one. So I didn't even know it was like, oh, you can place it on some places. I thought just like you can place it anywhere. I thought,
You can,
but
but it there's like a range between them.
yeah,
So for example, if you put a tentacle here, right? That's
yeah,
basically. Oh, sorry, let me move the camera and then I'll draw the thing. If you put a tentacle here, that's basically this whole wall is now. You can't use any more of it because this is too close and this is too close. But if you put one here and one here, that's far enough apart, so you get 2 instead of 1.
oh, okay.
So it's just
That's
thinking about
that's
like how you can create setups. A good way to visualize it is that mid Ilaoi is very like um why can I not zoom out? There we go. Mid Ilaoi, she can do like this in like a square. It actually used to be more like this because this wall came in more in on the old map, and like this one came in more. But I think the square is sort of like this size that you can do, like these sorts of gaps between them. So you wanna get as many tentacles as you can. That will lead into the sort of 2 different matchups that you have as Ilaoi. There's like winning ones and losing ones. I would say Cho'Gath is a winning one. I think
yeah.
Ilaoi's really good in turn. But how you're gonna play your level 1 is gonna change depending on whether you're winning or losing. So how would you? Obviously, we saw level 1 in this matchup. How do you think level 1 should be played in this matchup as Ilaoi? What are the important things
Uh,
to consider at level 1 in any matchup?
I always do like the exactly same every game. Even like if I'm facing like Vayne or something, then I'm very cautious and I'm chilling a bit and I'm just for like trying to get level 2 at the same time as him. But all the mashups like with the tanks and the melees, I always try to get level 2 first
Yep.
and then just be aggressive.
That's really good. Getting level 2 first is great. If you can get level 2 first, I always would. And then it's the losing matchups are the ones where I think you can't get level 2 first. That's what I would
Yeah.
determine a losing matchup by. So getting level 2 first and fighting him is great. I think in most winning matchups you can just start W. So your Q has a 10-second cooldown, your W only has a 4. So if we look at when the lane starts, especially because you start hitting the wave and you get your grasp, if you have W here, when he walks up and you just W on him, and then you just keep Wing him, you kind of just murder him in this spot.
Yeah. But once again, like the grasp, you said if when I start hitting the minions, I'm getting the grasp.
Yep. So
I
you
thought
have
the grasp was like only when I hit him and like he drags the health out of him, I get more health. I thought
yes,
that was grasp.
yeah. So when you auto attack him, you'll deal damage, but you can stack it up on minions. So let me. If you watch here, you don't have grasp right now, right? It takes
Yeah.
4 seconds for you to get grasp. You hit the minion 1, 2, 3, and now you have grasp ready.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the time, as Alawi, you can like stack up the grasp on the minions, W on his head, and then go back and stack up the grasp on the minions, and then W on his head, and you just keep doing that.
Yeah, that's nice. I didn't know
Because a
that.
W there would actually do more damage than that Q, and then now your Q's down for 10 seconds, but your W only has a 4-second cooldown, so you'd be like ready to W him again as well.
Yeah.
I think when you get level 2 as well, you do actually take W, and you can just see how much damage it does, right? There you go, just a huge chunk. If you're just doing these Ws on him from level 1.
Yeah.
That's fine. This is really good. Just murder him. Right. Let's talk a little bit about what you want to do with your waves in each kind of matchup. Alright, maybe I should... Yeah, no, I'll talk about losing matchups later. But losing matchups, you would start Q, and you're going to try to get the farm with Q because you can't walk up. In winning matchups, you're going to push, right? And in losing matchups, the enemy's going to push. Which one is, like... Is it easier to get ganked when you are pushing early or when they are pushing early?
When I'm pushing early.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think if you have early push, you actually can't get ganked.
Really?
Yeah. So you have...
How come? How come? Because now that you say it, every like from all the way from like bronze to platinum, it's like I can just crush him early and just push, 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 and I'm never getting ganked. Like, but when I come to plat, I usually get uh, like they usually gank me then, like at some point. But in lower elo, plat is also low elo, but in lower elo, they never punish me for pushing when I'm really strong.
So let's look at it this way, right? When if Viego is pathing towards top, so he's starting on his bot side,
Yeah.
whenever you're winning, I would try to crash this wave here, which is wave 3. Because by the time you've pushed this in, you see Viego right now, he's killing his chickens, right? So by the time you've pushed this, maybe he's killed his wolves, maybe he's killed his blue, but he hasn't done his full clear yet. You can push it in, and then you can recall, or you can just let this wave come towards you. And you can't be ganked now. Because you've pushed the wave into the tower, it's bouncing towards you, and you can just wait for this wave to push into you. So even if he's here, you can't do anything. He can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
So like if we, you do push this wave, right? So you see how now one thing you can do is recall and spend this gold and just come back. You won't actually lose anything because of the size of the wave you've pushed in. But also if you just don't play aggressive, and if you just let this wave come to you, so because this is pushing into you, if you just stand here and let it come to you, you can't be ganked.
Yeah.
Now, the different, like in this case, right, Cho'Gath got pushed in early, which means that if you as Illaoi do nothing, the wave will push. It will come into you. So if this happens to you, like let's say Nocturne is here, right? This wave
Yeah.
is pushing. There's nothing Cho'Gath can do to stop it pushing, so he's actually at risk of getting ganked, even though it was him that got pushed in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're winning these matchups, if you crash the third wave, a lot of the time you can recall and buy items. So here, I think you could get like pickaxe doesn't go into Trinity Force, but you have nearly you don't have enough gold for pickaxe. You could just get like double longsword and a refill potion, and then come back to lane. And then when you come back, there's going to be a big wave for you to farm, and it's going to be in a really nice position. It's going to be like up here, and then you can start playing this sort of Ilaoi play style, which I'll talk about. So how there's a point here, right, where you've got a tentacle on the tower and this guy's low health, and you walk up and you E him and you R and you dive him. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's like a staple Ilaoi play. But how do you get to this position where he's this health and he's pushed under his tower? And how
Um.
do you get there without constantly getting ganked? Because you could get there by just ramming your face into the tower over and over again, but then you're definitely going to get ganked.
Yeah. I guess by doing like the technique you're talking about, like letting him push, and then when it's up where it's up like on top where my minions are now,
Mm-hmm.
I can do damage on him as well and farm minions.
Yeah,
And when it's low, it's like then I can go for it.
yeah. So what I like to do is, like I said earlier, I like to set up this tentacle square here,
Yeah.
and then I'll let the wave come in and I'll play around here. But the important thing to do when you're letting this wave come in is do not let them crash the wave, because if they crash the wave, they can just recall and they get out of jail free. So you want to be holding the wave around here or around here, something like that. And you're
Yeah,
looking.
it's now that you say it, like the tentacles, the triangle tentacles, makes it much easier to hold, like
Yes, yeah, because you
minions
can
and take
just thin
damage.
the wave out whenever you need to.
Yeah,
And then you're looking to land ease on him to get chunk. And once you've chunked him to maybe like here, then all of a sudden you can start pushing. Um, and then when you push, he can't, even though he's low, he can't recall because you're pushing. He'll lose the wave.
yeah,
I mean, he can't, he has to recall, right? He has to recall and drop the wave. But if he doesn't recall and drop the wave to the turret, then you do your little Ilaoi dive with your ER on the thing onto him. So yeah,
yeah,
that's like a standard Ilaoi gameplay pattern that I would try to get into is getting the wave up here by crashing it into the tower. Because when you crash it into the tower, it will start a slow push into you, and then you can hold it up here between your tentacles. Um, you can chunk him out, and then once he's chunked, you can start pushing into him, and then you can look for the dive to make him miss the wave.
yeah.
So
That makes sense. I was
in
thinking like
no, go ahead.
also like uh, the games I do get it way ahead of the opponent. It's like let's say I have like 4 kills and 2 towers down.
Yeah,
Uh, Sometimes I just stay on lane, like because I'm dominating this lane and it's going so well. So it's better for the team for me to stay on lane, I think. Maybe it's
it
stupid,
depends.
but
It becomes like a decision making exercise, and we'll talk about that later when we get more towards the mid and late game.
oh, okay.
But yeah. Oops, I'm still drawing. One sec. Right. Um, Once we get into this play pattern of like trying to set up these tentacles, pull the wave up here, chunk them out, and then start pushing. The great thing about this is your ward has a cooldown, right? But this completely avoids the fact that your ward has a cooldown because while you're here, you're stood like here, you know, like this is you. So you
Yeah,
don't need a ward. So you don't ward at this point. And then once you've chunked him and then you start pushing, then you ward, and your ward sees all of this, and you have really nice information. And then you push it in, you dive him, and then the wave will start coming back to you again because you've crashed it into the tower, and you can just rinse and repeat. But that's when I would ward is here when you're playing that push out.
okay.
So given what we've just talked about, let's say you're in a losing matchup, like you mentioned Vayne, right? You can't really contest early. What
Yeah.
should your goal be early game against a Vayne?
Uh, just farm, I guess. Like try to get as much farm as possible and not take as much damage as possible.
Yeah. So Vayne is gonna push you in. There's a lot of champions that are going to push you in because they just win early, right? There's like Darius can just walk into your face and you can't really do much about it, and you have to let him push. But
Yeah.
there's something you can do that should be like your goal in these matchups, which if you manage to execute it, it completely screws them over. So they're
Okay.
gonna push in, okay, and then at a certain point, the wave is going to look like kind of like this, I guess. Yeah, like this, where imagine Ilaoi is Vayne and you're blue. Okay, so
Yeah.
they've got like two waves here, and this is the wave they want to crash. If you can
Yeah.
manage to hold this wave while they're chunked, so like let's say you land an E on them at this point, and you manage to trade with them and then not let them crash the wave, then it's really scary because they can get ganked now. So this is the wave they need to crash to avoid getting ganked. So your game plan should be to try and pull them into this place where you've got your tentacle set up, land ease on them to get chunks, and hold the wave.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Dirty Mobs? He's an Ilaoi player on YouTube.
No, I didn't even know he existed.
Okay, he's challenger in NA. Well, I think he's Grandmaster at the minute.
His name is Dirty Mobs.
Yeah, this is his channel here. Let me just have a look at like a lane phase of his. See if we can sort of see where these things are in effect. So he's playing against Garen.
I thought like that Ilau is not possible to play in higher ranks because everybody's just like when you E them and then you ult them and everybody's running and then okay now you're useless. So maybe I just thought that she was useless in higher
No, no, no.
ranks.
She's the thing with Ilaoi that I think is that sometimes she's really good and sometimes she is kind of useless. So in this game, what is he playing? I mean, he's playing against Garen. Garen's going to have to run into his face if he wants to play the game. So, for example, like Garen, what Garen wants to do is run in and like one shot his AD carry with his ult, right? So if he
Yeah,
positions on his AD carry, that's a way that you can make yourself useful as Ilaoi, is you can sort of say, okay, if you want to run at my AD carry, you're running into me. It's like a positioning thing. But you can see already, you see where he placed his tentacle? That's like one of the
yeah.
four. And if we move forward, he's looking for the one on the little tip now. There you go, he's got that one. I think he's going to let this guy push into him. And he's probably going to get the one on the top wall now. There we go. He's letting this guy push. And then it's this next wave. He takes his E. So he's going to try to stop this Garen from crashing this wave. This is his goal in his losing matchups. It's kind of awkward because he has really good map awareness. He's like looking around the map instead of looking at his lane. So he's actually
Yeah.
cleared the whole wave. That's interesting. I normally wouldn't, because now it's pushing away from him, which is kind of awkward. Normally you want it to be like sort of frozen here, and you keep it frozen.
Yeah.
Because now he's pushing into Garen, which is kind of awkward.
I find it really hard to like. I understand the concept of freezing the lane, but I find it really hard to freeze when like like let's say it's gold, silver. They
Yeah.
just constantly out attack the minions, using spells on minions, so they're hard pushing all the time. So I think that's when I find it hard to like freeze the lane.
He's done a pretty good job here. Like, he's kept it in this spot, which means he's not gankable and Garen is, which is really good. Unfortunately, he's missed both of the E's that he's thrown so far. If you land E's in this position, it's really good for you. So, like, let's look at this as an example. What do you think he should try to do right now? I just
Yeah, he has no mana, so
Yeah.
I would just keep like hoping that he pushes and just repeat what he's doing.
Okay. I think at this point, now you're right that he has no mana, right? So because he has no mana, you're looking for a base. Now he has Briar coming in for a gank, so this is great. I think this gank, like when I see this gank as a top, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to kill him, but even if I don't kill him, I'm just gonna push the wave and recall. So once you get into these positions, like if you can ever push the wave and recall, you're really happy. Okay, he flashes away. You push this wave, you recall. So this is hard winning for Ilaoi.
Yeah.
So this is one of those small wins because like now they can try and dive him, they can make him miss this wave. Okay, Belveth's here. Even if they don't dive him, it doesn't matter because like if Ilaoi recalls and buys items, it's the position you were in earlier, right? If she recalls, buys items, comes back to lane, the wave's going to be pushing into her, and she's in that really nice spot again. Where if we zoom forward, when she gets back to lane, this wave's coming towards her, and she's just going to let it. And she's going to be in this spot with her tentacles again. There you go. And now she's going to try to stop him crashing the wave, land an E. There's no way he lets this crash, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just going to hold these 3 minions here. Or 2 minions, I guess. Ah, missed his E. But yeah, a lot of the time it's going to be about trying to prevent them crashing the wave.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's boring because it's a little bit boring, but it makes sense.
Yeah. This Garen's playing really well as well. He's not letting the Ilaoi land E's. If he did get the E and he chunked him out, then he does the dive where he walks up. Like, you walk up, you put a tentacle on the tower, and then you walk into their face and you E-ult them. He does that a lot. Like, if he ever gets a good chunk on the enemy, he'll start pushing and then do that.
Wait, he's ulting just to push, or what?
No. Sorry. If he manages to get, I can't get my pen. 1 sec. There we go.
He looks exactly like you in Discord. You very alike.
It's me on my second account. No, it's if he manages to, like, let's say he chunks this guy down to like this sort of health, right?
Yeah.
He'll just walk up, he'll push, walk up, put a tentacle on the tower, and then he'll E the guy under his tower and ult him and dive him. It's kind of like what you did before. Really,
okay,
really standard play.
So he waits for a tentacle as well, and then
yeah, so he will. He has a video about his dives. Calls it a dirty dive. Let's see. Punishing Riven with the dirty dive. Here we go. Let's go to level 6. Level 5 right now. He's gonna do it next wave, I think. Yeah, this is perfect. So he's got the wave pushing. He's gonna push the next wave. He's looking at his tentacle cooldown here. And I think he's actually staying away from this wall. You see where he's positioning? Because he doesn't want to use his tentacle. He wants to keep his tentacle. He's going to walk all the way along this wall so that it doesn't spawn on this one. He's going to spawn one under the tower here. And then if Riven fights him, he's just going to press R. Now he's going to wait. He's going to wait for this one. He's going to walk up and he's going to put the tentacle on the tower, I think. Here we go. He gets it here. So he's got this tentacle on the tower now. He's just going to E it and ult. And the guy just dies under his tower. There's like no... And this is worth for him because even though it's a 1-for-1, she's losing the wave.
Yeah.
But this play where he puts a tentacle like under the tower and then walks up and then E's and then ults, it kills a lot of people very often. And if you kill people under their tower when you've pushed like this, they lose the wave and you just get a huge XP lead. Even if you die for it, sometimes that can be worth. Okay, let's look back at your game. So here we get ganked. And it's just because of the timing, right? Like, on that third wave, you couldn't possibly be ganked, but on this one, you can because he'll have finished his clear. But yeah, if you do want to watch Ilaoi gameplay, that guy, he uploads really often. He's got loads of videos on loads of different matchups. And like build setups and runes. He's probably a really good guy to look at for, you know, you were talking about like runes and stuff. because he'll know
Yeah.
all the different. Like I don't play that much Illaoi, but he just plays Illaoi all day. He'll know every matchup and like what runes you should take and stuff. Okay.
Do you have any like tips for not Ilaoi but uh, like the meta part of the game? What is meta now or something? Because I usually just play. I don't have a problem like picking for a team, like picking Shen if we need tank or CC, or picking something like. So I'm thinking I need to like pick up one more champion that is like overall. And then I saw that you had the Kesante as a picture, and I thought maybe like Kesante is a very good champion. At least when I played him, when I tried him a lot.
I think
Uh,
it doesn't really matter what champion you add to your pool if you want to play three. I would say, since you have Set and Illaoi, I would probably pick something that does magic damage. Just so then you have a champion to pick if your team drafts full AD.
uh,
So, I mean, there's a lot of magic damage champions in top lane. I'd say like half the champs in the entire role are magic damage. But yeah, you could go with pretty much any of them.
yeah,
Until you get to like Grandmaster, as long as you're
yeah.
good at what you're playing, it does, like for example, that guy, right? He struggles to reach Challenger because, like you said, Illaoi is kind of hard to play in high elo, but he'll reach Grandmaster.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's start talking about what we want to do on Illaoi. So Illaoi has really good push, right? Which means she can sort of control what the wave is doing quite nicely.
Yeah.
So this guy bases here. What do you think you should do in this spot when you TP back in?
Uh, Push the wave before he arrives to lane.
Yeah. So if we fast push, we can get the turret to kill some of his minions. So if we just fast push this wave now, it's good for two reasons, right? One, he starts losing minions to this turret, and then two, the wave bounces back to you, and you can look to play in this area again.
Yeah, the ward here was pretty stupid, I think, as well, because he just ganked me, and he's moving away. He's probably not gonna gank me. So
Probably
like
not, but I'm fine with this ward because like he was here a second ago. So in theory he
yeah,
could still be here, and if he does leave, you're gonna get another ward by the time he comes back. Because if he does leave, what he's gonna do is go base or go gank mid, and then based on what he did, his next camp to spawn is here on Krugs. And then it's
yeah,
chickens, and then it's wolves, and like then he's looking top. So he's a long time away from coming top again once he leaves. So I think it's fine.
okay.
So yeah, I would fast push this, get it under the tower, and then get it coming back to you. This is really good. You get a chunk on him. In this position, actually, this is one of the few times where you can like what you're doing here is good right now, and that's because you basically have full knowledge that Viego is not here. So if you know that the enemy jungler's not here, you can do this. You're kind of just like playing in their face under their tower, absolutely bullying them, getting huge chunks like this. Like this is good to do. It's just not safe to do. So
Yeah,
as long as you're like mindful about when you do this, as it happens, I don't know if you were thinking like, oh, okay, there's no way Viego's here because he's just left, but that is the correct decision to make. And if you go, okay, I'm gonna just play like this because he's not here, then that's fine. As long as you're aware of like what you can die to.
I think like to be honest, I think it's like all the mechanical part of the game, like hitting the E and okay, under like damaging in on the turret and like all this the mechanical part is taking away a lot of from uh my awareness of the map and my
Yeah,
awareness of like everything. So I'm like focused on like this part, like the fighting and okay, let's go, okay, this, but I'm just like deleting the part where we're watching the if I'm getting ganked and where the jungle is and so I have this part down a little bit, like the fighting part and the aggressive part, but the awareness is when it gets much like the fighting gets a lot. I'm like dropping the control of watching the map, and if you understand.
Yeah, the important thing for you as a top laner is to know when the enemy jungler's around. I've
Yeah,
got this thing that I call like the 90-second rule or the 3-wave rule, where some people find it easier to like do it in time, so 90 seconds or 1 minute 30, and some people find it easier to do it in like they count how many minion waves they've played because a minion wave comes every 30 seconds. But
yeah,
basically, at this point, like when he leaves, so he's left now. I I tell people like you're fine for 90 seconds. So add 130 onto this 430, you would get to 6 minutes, which would be 3 waves. So if we look at what's going to happen until 6 minutes, Viego's like he's farming his grubs, and then he's farming his chickens, and then like right now he could be like doing his wolves, and then maybe he could gank top, and it would be about 6 minutes.
yeah. If he weren't invading,
He's
he
invading,
would
yeah,
yeah, he would have to go back and then go top lane to farm and then gank top.
yeah.
So he would path towards top anyway. So it's right.
I think once Nocturne, it's kind of weird that Nocturne. Oh, I guess he's doing grubs. I would take these camps, but we're not doing jungle right now, so it doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, I
You
mean,
do it for example as well, like the coaching.
um, I don't. I've recently been playing a bit of jungle. My jungle's fairly good, but I just do top lane.
Oh, okay. What champion you play in jungle?
Mostly Lee Sin.
Oh, okay. That's like a pro champion, I think. He's very
Yeah,
strong.
he's really fun.
Yeah.
So here, very very simple game plan, right? We've got the same thing. This wave's coming into us. We can try to set up our little tentacle square and make like a little death area. You don't even have to do the full square at this point. You can just do these two. And then,
Yeah.
once you get there, you can do like this one as well. But we let him come in, and we're looking to find E's onto him. That's going to chunk him. We find another E that chunks him. And then once he's chunked, we can push in and we can play for the dive. It's just a nice game plan. So we don't need this ward right now. I'm not sure when you dropped it. Ah, you dropped it now. Okay. So I just wouldn't ward. The reason I
Yeah,
wouldn't ward is that this wave's
it's
coming to
gonna
you.
bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, how good are these voids? I don't know.
Uh,
Everybody's like pinging them, like take the voids, take the voids. Like, I think they're like maybe overrated.
if you get
Or
all 6 of them, they're insane. If you don't, they're
yeah.
just kind of nice.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
like having them, but it's only when you have 6 of them that it's like, whoa.
Oh,
So if you can, like, if the enemy can steal even one of these at any point, it's like, especially because there's 3 of them and you both only have 1 smite, if you can just walk in and smite one, it really shuts down the objective quite hard.
oh.
Okay, so nice, we got 1 tentacle. Now we'll talk sort of mechanically about what you want to do in these situations. So once you're ideally this tentacle would be more like up here, just because it's a lot easier for him to walk into here and take this than it is for him to walk up here and take, like, it's easier to defend if you
Yeah.
spawn it further back. But it's okay. The main thing is you want to be defending your tentacles. So if like what I'll see people do, or like dirty mobs do, is he'll be like here, right? And these minions will aggro on him, and he'll walk up here, which brings the wave up here. And then
Yeah.
he can come around, and there's like all this empty space, which if Cho'Gath walks up to try and hit the tentacle, he can E him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you try to E him now, the minions are in the way. Because you walked down here. But you do want to like threaten him if he's gonna try and take your tentacle. That's good. You're silenced, so you can't really do much about it. But now you've got a much better tentacle. This one's easier to defend. And if he tries to walk in and take this tentacle, I think you can just, E him, and then if you had one more tentacle, you could even ult him. Why, if, let's say he walked up, right? And you E'd him, and then you ulted him, and you put his health to here, why is that extremely winning for you?
Because he has to back then, and I
Yep.
can control the wave.
Yep, so what do you do if he backs? If you chunk him like this and he backs?
I freeze the wave here.
You
Or
could. I would
I
push.
push it.
Yeah. If you chunk him and he bases, then I would just push and the whole wave will die to the tower and it will bounce back to you. And you'll just start generating an XP lead, right? You'll be level 8, he'll be level 7, and it makes the next one even easier and the next one even easier. You keep doing it. Playing for XP is really, really important in top lane. XP leads just snowball super hard. And yeah, the thing that you want to track to know whether you can do this is his teleport cooldown. So right now he doesn't have teleport, so if he does have to base, you can just push the wave in and he loses it. And Ilaoi has extremely good wave clear. What's your tentacle cooldown? 5. So I'd, like, right now, I would start walking up here to put this tentacle here, and then you've got him kind of trapped between these two things. So freezing right now is good because you've not got enough of a chunk on him yet. Kind of annoying how long it took that tentacle to spawn. I think maybe there was an awkward time frame. Either way, so here he's charmed off of the RE. I would just E him and just hit the clone.
From where I'm standing now.
Yeah, because it's mostly just because you're low. So if you go in, he can try and kill you. He actually kills you if he didn't cancel his auto attack.
Yeah.
If you're not low,
right.
you can jump in.
I think that was stupid of me. If you reverse it a little bit again, it's like I W and I Q and then I E.
Yeah. Much better to E first, because especially with the angle, like this, if you E, then you're gonna Q both of them. If you do like EQ.
Yeah.
And he's got nowhere to go, so like you don't have to be on him, you know, you can just space him out. But he's dead, and he loses the wave, and you reset, and now the wave's bouncing into you again. And, like, every time they make these mistakes, right, the good thing is, with the way you're playing the wave up here, they can get ganked like that a lot. Like, the enemy can get ganked, and what they want to do is push the wave in so they can recall and it will come back to them, like you've just done, but you just never let them do that. You keep poking them out and chunking them out, and you're just trying to make them miss waves constantly. So whether it's you push back into them and dive them and they miss the wave, or you make them recall and you push in and you miss the wave.
Yeah.
So here I would, like, these minions, even if you don't touch them, they're not gonna die. Like, this one might now because you've touched it. But, like, now you can just sort of play back, and by playing back, like, between the CS, I would just be trying to get your tentacles spawned. Let's see when you have one. So you have one in 4 seconds, so I'd probably last hit this melee and then go and place a tentacle. I'd just be mindful of trying to get your tentacle set up before you... Like now, I would walk up here and place this tentacle here. And then while it's, you know, because you'll have placed one, right?
Yeah.
You would already have this cooldown ticking, which means by the time it gets here, you could also place like this one, and you could have 3. The more tentacles you have, the harder it is to fight you.
Yeah. Only this information makes a big difference for me, actually, I think.
Ilaoi's a really unique champion. I think she's really cool. How she has like the tentacle mechanic.
Yeah.
So here what you can do is just hold this wave. Now if you want to take a bit less damage from the minions, you can just walk in and out of this bush really fast. And they'll lock on you and then they can't see you, and then they'll lock on you and then they can't see you, and they don't really shoot you. But it lets you hold the wave without really taking too much damage, because here you're taking all their autos. That's good movement there. Unfortunately you cleared the wave out now. Kind of awkward. Now the main difficulty with this here is that you're taking his damage and you're not landing your E. So what we want to look for is times where you can land E. Okay, so for example, I'm looking at this as a really good time to throw an E. Why is this a good time to throw an E?
Because the minion is about to die.
Yeah.
So
if you, I don't know if you have it or if you already used it. No, you had it. So if you threw one like that, sort of past that minion. That would probably
Yeah.
land because he wants to last hit the minion. So there's times where people are going to stand still. So like right now there's going to be another one, but unfortunately there's minions in the way, right? So you can't really get that one.
Yeah.
And you want to base your positioning on hitting Yuri as Ilaoi. So now I would not E because he has no reason to not dodge it, essentially. Like he can just walk away. Okay, he gets kind of greedy here. What do you do here? I would probably just W him and then flash away. But also just flashing away works. With the W, I'm trying to get the heal from the tentacle to avoid his ult, but he didn't even ult you for some reason. And now he's dead, and now you push the wave and he loses another wave of XP. So if we actually, at this point, if we look at where you're at, like, it's gone pretty well so far. If we look at the XP difference, I need him to respawn. You are level 9 with a little bit, and he's level 8. So you're not too far ahead of him, but you are ahead of him. And if you keep playing like this and keep getting these XP leads, you'll...
How much do you like how much do you get for a level in like well, you get like health and armor and you for every level, right?
Yeah, you get a lot. You get points in your spells as well. So if we just look at the base stats that this guy gains by leveling up, he's about to level up, right? So we can compare what he gains.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he gains... what's he got? 92, 44, 93. He gained 100 health, he gained 5 armor, he gained 5 AD, and he gained, I think, 4 magic resist was what he got. So it's a lot of stats. It's
Yeah,
also...
it's
also...
item for,
yeah.
If you have lead in XP, it's like one small item.
Oh, and he gained some mana as well, and also his E does more damage now because he put an extra point in it.
Yeah.
And it has lower cooldown because he put another point in it, so it's just a lot that you get for leveling up. Okay, but I think we've pretty much covered the lane phase plan and how we want to use that to generate like an XP lead. So we've got a plan for the lane phase.
Yeah.
About 14 minutes is not like when the turret plates are down. Is where we start to get out of lane. Now here, once we're at 14 minutes, how do we start impacting the game more than just our lane?
Here's where I'm fucking lost.
Okay, so this is where things get tricky.
Yeah.
There's one thing in particular where once you've done it, your ability to impact the game and not just top lane, like for me, it goes like 5 times as high.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. So when you manage...
I can say what I usually do, like to impact the
okay,
game.
yeah, go for it.
If I have like if I'm in this position now, let's say, and I'm starting to think like, okay, I can bot lane is doing horrible, and if there's a possibility to gank here with TP, I usually do it, and then push their tower.
Yep.
That's probably everything I do. Like.
Okay, cool. That's pretty much right, yeah. Pushing their tower is the goal. Once you get this tower, you're really unlocked as a top laner, and I'll go through why that is once this tower's down, so you've got like a visual representation of it. But for now, it's kind of the same thing, where you're looking to chunk him and then you can push and you can maybe dive or you can make him base. But now that there's no turret plates, if he has to base and you've got Sheen and there's no turret plates, if you make him base and miss the wave, you can also get a lot of damage on his turret, and eventually you take it. And once you've taken it, you've opened yourself up. So once you're getting into mid-game and out of laning phase, I would really try to get this turret as like your main goal.
Yeah.
Let's see. But it's going to be more of the same, where you're just like, you're trying to play this playstyle of chunk them out, push, dive, make them miss waves. Eventually get the turret. This turret does not go down yet. Nico's here again. Okay, here, if you remember, it's just a case of playing where you have tentacles. So you're really strong here. Like, this ult's really nice. It hits the clone and him, and it buffers over the Q so you don't get knocked up. That's a great ult.
Wait, okay. When I hit the ult, I'm immune to his
You're immune to
knock.
CC during your ult, yeah. So, like, a hard counter for Illaoi is Mordekaiser, because he will R you, and it takes you away from all your tentacles. But what you can actually do as Illaoi is, as he ults you, you can ult. And the ult will get nullified, because you're immune during your ult.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So there's a lot of matchups where using the ult immune saves you. So, for example, one of the ones I've seen with the Dirty Mob's dive, where he walks up and he puts the tentacle on the tower and then he ults them. One of them is against an Ornn, okay? So if you imagine you're diving an Ornn like this, Ornn's going to E you on the tower. So what he does is when he does this, he gets ready for the E, and when the Ornn E's, he ults over it, and then he kills him.
That's crazy.
So yeah, the ult's a really nice tool to avoid CC. I think if you just killed his clone there, and then, you know, if Nico wants to keep fighting you, you just fight her, but you just play to leave, then, you know, you're winning. Which kind of goes nicely into as a top laner. Now that lane is finished, right, and we're not so much laning anymore, we're playing League of Legends rather than just top lane. What is your job as a top laner?
It's to be like frontline in the team fights.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, depending on what champion you are. But for example, if you're playing Quinn, right, then that's not your job. Yeah. But there is something that, like, is your job as every top laner, just the role, regardless of what champion you play.
I actually don't know them.
Okay, we'll sort of logically try to reach the conclusion, because I like these sort of thought exercises. So what are some things that you might find yourself doing as a top laner?
On the lane, or like...
No, I like at this point in the game. So, for example, you mentioned one about your teleport just a second ago, right?
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, I think what you're looking for is like to push all the towers.
Yeah, that's right? One. You can push towers.
And then help with objectives, I guess.
Yeah. And then you said earlier about you would TP and gank people.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you push a wave into this tower, so let's say there's a big wave here, right? What does Cho'Gath have to do?
After I push the tower?
If you have a giant wave here, what is Cho'Gath going to do? But let's say Cho'Gath's mid lane, right?
Yeah.
And you push a giant wave here.
Yeah.
He's going to come here to farm the wave, right?
Yeah,
he has to.
Yeah, it take the gold. Yeah, exactly.
But you no longer need to be there, so you can leave.
Yeah, so I have the advantage of like playing with my team.
So by doing that, yeah, exactly, you've created a numbers advantage. Okay, when you teleport into the bot lane and gank them, you've created a numbers advantage. So that's what I class as the top laner's job, is to create numbers advantages around the map. So there's two ways you can do that, and Illaoi's really good at both of them. Okay, one of them is, I'm so strong, you need two people to come and deal with me.
Yeah.
That means that your team has a 3v4 down here. And the other one is, I can push the wave, and then you have to catch it, and I can move. So we get a 5v4 here, and one guy's just catching the wave here. Both of those create numbers advantages, and if you do that the whole game, you're doing such a good job. The only thing you don't want to do is die in the side lane unless it's worth it.
Yeah, I think like I usually skip this part. Like I always stay on top lane, for the reason because when I start walking down to do help with objectives or like make the advantage for a 4v5 instead of 5v5, most of the times they just push the wave really fast and then get one tower and then almost end up on the second tower, and but maybe I'm like need to control a little bit like more. Okay, now that I have to go back faster, like do the objective or do the thing and then go back to the top lane.
Yep. So
Because I think I stay too long doing like these things.
possibly, yeah,
Everything.
you should look to see when you need to come back. But do you remember I said taking this tower really unlocks you? That's why.
Yeah.
So if you push a giant wave, let me get rid of the scoreboard actually because it's in my way. How do I do that? There we go. If you push a giant wave to here, why is my pen really thick now? They only need to push it back to here. So your time, they catch this wave and they push it back, and then you need to be here to catch it. Whereas if you can push the giant wave all the way down to here, they have to clear it, and then they have to push it here, and then they have to push it here, and then you have to come back, right? So the time that you're allowed to be somewhere else is so much bigger.
So would you say like let's say I push it the wave down there all the way down to the second tier 2 turret?
Yep.
Would you start walking? Like let's say something happens mid. Or something happens like okay now we do Drake.
Yep.
Would you start walking down and save TP for going back, or would you like TP down?
It depends on the timing of the Drake. So like right now, if I turn on the objective timers, there's 54 seconds until Dragon, right? So what I would think is if I could push the next wave to this tower, I would think, okay, I'll push the next wave to this tower and then I'll walk there because I've got so much time. But if the Drake was in like 14 seconds instead of 54, then I would push it and I would probably TP because it's gonna be alive by the time I get there.
Yeah.
Also, Illaoi likes to be there slightly earlier than other champs, purely because if you're there a bit early, you can put a tentacle here and one here, and you know what I mean, maybe one here, and then you've got like this triangle where you've got all. And if they try to fight you here, they are absolutely screwed, which is perfect because here is exactly where you can pull the dragon to. So stuff like this, if you review your games and you look at where your tentacles are in fights and think like, could I have had them in better spaces? You need them to be spaced apart like this. A lot of the time it's going to be a triangle, but there's a few places on the map where you can do a square, which is going to give you 4. So like for example here, I think you can do one here, 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 and here. And if they try to fight you here, they just get absolutely ruined. So yeah, Illaoi likes to teleport a little bit earlier or move down a little bit earlier just to place tentacles, but I would only say like 10 seconds earlier than normal just to get one more tentacle than you would otherwise. But yeah, that's going to be your goal in mid-game. So there's 2 things you can do, okay? Let's say you've got this big wave here and you've pushed. What are your 2 options?
Go back or
okay, you could go back and buy items, yeah. Or you could move to another lane. There's one more thing you could do. Let's assume Cho'Gath just doesn't show up here, right? He just stays mid.
Then I would like ward jungle and then keep pushing.
Yeah, you can just take the tower. If like the whole reason, like the reason it creates a numbers advantage is that they have to come to defend their tower. So if they don't, you just take it. So you're getting into this flow of like, okay, if you're not here, I'm going to take your tower. A lot of the time as Illaoi as well, let's say you've absolutely dumpstered your lane, you can kind of be like, even if you are here, I will just dive you and take your tower. And then if there's 2 people here, then I will move. And if you can make 2 people come here and then move across, then you've got a 5v3 over here.
Yeah.
It's just so winning for you.
It makes so much sense, everything. I think this part where the turret on the top lane now, I push it when I get back. Maybe like you just go ahead and start it.
Yeah.
When I come back to this, I save like the demolish for the second turret, and one big thing I do very often that I think is a big mistake is like I usually die over turret damage because I want to have like a big push.
Okay.
So
yeah, I wouldn't die for turret damage.
Yeah, I think I died like my tier 2, his tier 2 turret, just to like get half damage done on the turret or something. I know that they're gonna gank me, and I know that I'm probably gonna die, but I do it anyway because of the damage on the turret. And I don't know why I keep doing this, because I think in my head I'm creating a lead but I'm maybe not creating a lead.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would try to. I mean, you get a feel for how strong you are, right, and who you can take. If you can take the turret in someone's face, you should do it. But you're gonna have to like play games to learn when you can do that. Like limit test essentially, find where the limits are. There's one more thing I would talk about for the mid to late game for you, and then we'll try another game and we'll try and apply these things. But when you're doing this, if you have your teleport, so here you don't, but let's imagine you did, right? So your goal is to push and create a numbers advantage, and then you can move. Sometimes your team might get engaged on while this is happening, and then you can teleport. Like you can just drop what you're doing and teleport in to affect the game, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay. We got a lot of things covered. Let's try it in another game. See how it goes.
Yeah.
So if you want to swap back to your share screen, and I will watch, and I'll try and not talk to you so much that you can't focus, but just remind you of things that we talked about in the review, so that you're thinking about them in the game.
Yeah. Do you have like this one?
I don't use any of the apps like that, but I know people like them. I
I
know
don't
that.
even know where. I got it from like when I play classic World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah,
When I downloaded the Curse Forge, I got this like automatically.
that's
I
actually
don't know.
really funny because you know that the VOD I just showed you of the Dirty Mobs guy, the Alawi player.
Yeah.
In that video, he's also playing classic World of Warcraft. I don't. It must just be Alawi players just play classic WoW.
Yeah.
I think it was if you go on the live tab, if you wanted to see that, I think it was his most recent live stream that he did that I was watching. Yeah, Grandmaster Alawi Gaming. That was it. Between his games, he's playing classic WoW. There you go.
Oh, okay. What level was he? Do you play classic WoW?
I don't play classic. I've played a lot of WoW though. I will be
Oh.
playing classic soon because my favorite expansion of all time was Mr. Pandaria, so I'll be playing the ever living shit out of that when that comes out.
Oh, Miss of Pandaria is nice in like the PvP part.
PvP mop was so good.
Yeah.
I started in Wrath, so I didn't play classic or Burning Crusade.
No, I also started in Wrath. So I when it was classic Wrath of Lich King, I played it. That was very nice.
I never got round to playing that. I would have liked to
Oh,
though. I played Death Knight and Monk,
oh,
but
Death Knight
I
was
played Death Knight
so
tank and DPS, and then I played Monk healer.
oh. Did you ever play PvP in Wrath?
Yeah, not in Wrath, no. Oh,
No, okay.
maybe I did, but I was really new, so I was really bad. I started my like PvPing and PvEing mostly in Cataclysm, because Wrath I was mostly leveling, and then I did a little bit of the
I
stuff at the
remember
end.
like the Death Knight, Blood Death Knight in PvP was it was disgusting
Oh, it
in Wrath
wasn't.
of the
It was
King.
in Cataclysm too. I remember in Cataclysm there was a really famous rogue PvPer called Makeda,
Yeah.
and he had a video where he was playing on his rogue, and he was like the best rogue in the world with complete best in slot gear, and he was 1v1 in a Blood Death Knight, and he managed to win, but I think it took like 10 minutes. Let me see if I can find the video. Yeah, here we go. Makeda Blood Money, the 100,000 gold duel, and it's a 9-minute video of him just 1v1ing a Blood Death Knight in Cataclysm. It was just silly.
It's crazy.
Oh my god, YouTube videos looked so cool back then, all the fonts. Oh, it's so nostalgic. I think did
Oh,
Makeda have.
Machinima. This was a banger when I was younger, but Machinima.
Yeah. What's his gear? Where's Makeda's gear? I don't see Makeda's gear, but I'm pretty sure he had the legendary daggers and everything. Like, he was just geared to the teeth. Oh man, this was like YouTube in its golden days. My videos have nothing on this.
Oh, you have YouTube?
Yeah, yeah. My coaching's all on YouTube. Okay, Wukong matchup. I'd probably go Grasp again, and just remember what we were doing about how we play our waves. So Wukong's pretty strong at level 1, so you might have to let him push.
Which like the
I'd just go Grasp again.
okay. Why on Wukong? I mean, grasp. Oh yeah, this was if I'm allowed to hit much, then it's
Yeah, so Conqueror would have been really good into Cho'Gath, but it was really bad into all the rest of their champions. It's for like really long fights.
Oh, okay. Oh.
The first thing to remember was where we're placing our tentacles at the start of the game. So we're going to try to get them in good places.
I have very much time now, right? So now I can place one here.
Yep. Walk a little bit further up, like into the lane. Otherwise you're going to a bit more. Because now if you try and do your next one, try and do it on the same wall, you'll see how far back you have to place it because of the gap. So like you're going to have to do it all the way back where the bush is now because of the gap between them. But it's fine. I think you can just do the top wall ones. So place one on the top wall, but like near your turret. There you go. And then the next one you'll also do on the top wall, and you'll have a triangle here. So it's not quite the square, but it's still pretty good. Have the triangle going on. You have to go a little bit further. There you go. So that's like the maximum distance. When people are in the bush like that,
You will ward it.
I would stay on. That's a good trade. I would normally stand on your caster creeps, because then if they take that trade, your caster creeps will all hit them. So like right now, this is kind of losing for him because your casters are going to hit him and you can just W him and then back off. This is a really good spot for you. As long as you don't get cheesed by his level 2,
Yeah.
the wave's going to be, it's going to be in that perfect position. Nice.
Oh, minion block.
Minion block. Fine. Just back off now because he's going to get level 2. Yeah, this is perfect. So all these, yeah, if you can get Ws like that on the wave, it's great because you're trying to stop him crashing it. Perfect. Okay. Maybe took a little too much minion damage there, unfortunately.
I would probably TP here.
Yeah, you can TP. Okay. We took a little bit too much damage, but that's fine. Just get a refill pot while you're TPing. Nice. Now you really need to stop him crashing, though. Look for ease whenever you can. This is a good spot for you. I think he should base and TP now, because you're in control. And what you can start doing is you can start looking to push now, because you're in control, and then, you know, you crash the wave, and you just take another base. Because if he tries to trade with you right now, he's going to get absolutely mauled. Just check, is he playing teleport?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be a good time to ward, but you don't need to because Diana's checking the river for you.
Yeah.
But it's good to ward when you're pushing in like this. I would try to land ease on him here. If you can kill him under his tower, he's gonna miss the wave. So nice. Okay, that's something we can talk about actually. There's a way to do that without taking tower damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I say here? Yeah, I'm still strong. Maybe
Yeah.
ward.
Um, I would just try to fast push it and recall, I think. Because what you don't want to end up in a spot is that he pushes and then base TPs and you're pushed in and you don't have your TP. That's good. Now if you base, you'll be fine. And also we see Vi now. She was bot.
Yeah.
So we assume she cleared bot to top and she's just recalled, so she's coming back top and she's gonna be here for, remember the 90-second rule? So I mean, she's already here though. I would say like in 1 minute she's not gonna be here anymore. So by the time it gets to 5:30, you're fine. And here this wave's pushing into you, so you can look to try and get him trapped. But so far you're winning like very heavily because you're in a fine position. The main thing here is I would make sure you're in XP range. It doesn't really matter if you don't get the CS while he's pushing into you like this, but you definitely want to get the XP. If you can grab him with your Q, that's great. But yeah, you're ahead in HP, and you have 2 long swords more than him. So any fight, you should really be winning. Try and get another tentacle down, maybe top wall. Yeah, it's because of the range. That one needs to be slightly further back, but this is fine. You have 2 tentacles to play with. Really nice E. And that should force his teleport if you don't let this crash. So walk in and out of the bush here really quickly. You see how it... You see what I mean? You take less damage by doing that.
Yeah.
And now he has to base and teleport, or he has to like try and push this in, but this is so awkward for him. Like he's really susceptible to gank. Also, you could just W his head here. If they start walking up like that, you just W on their head.
No, oh fuck. A W.
Okay,
That's
that's
fucking
yeah,
good.
it's fine. He's basing now, so I would normally say to push, but you have to be really careful because you just saw those guys. But because he based, I would normally push, and then you can recall as well. See if he holds it. If he holds it, then you're gonna stay. Yeah, he's holding it.
Oh fuck.
Ah,
I had
close.
no mana.
Yeah, ran out of mana, and the E hit the clone, so it like disappeared. If you hit E there, you kill him for sure. When you there's 2 different max orders you can do on Ilaoi. The most common one is E max, which is what you're doing right now. Against range champs, you'll do Q max, or like champs where you can't hit the E. So for example, what's a good example of a champ where you can't hit that?
Queen is pretty
Yeah, like
annoying.
it's really hard to hit an E on Quinn, so you'll just max Q instead because it beefs up your Q, but it also beefs up all your tentacle slams from your W. But when you max E, it's really important that you land the E because it's most of your damage.
Here I can't freeze, right?
Yeah, so this is pushing into him. So we haven't actually looked at this spot, but the correct thing to do is push slowly. So you know how you died there because it was really hard to push the wave in?
Yeah.
The slower you push, the easier it is, because last time he held the wave, right? But if you push this one now, he's going to have to hold 2 waves, which is really hard on his HP bar. Yeah, just get the wave in, because you're in a really bad spot until it's pushed. That's fine. Lovely. And now you can start setting up. You've got a really nice window to start setting up your tentacles and let the wave come back into you. Also, one thing I always tell people is that, like, in these sessions, I'm talking to you a lot and you're thinking about a lot of things. So most people normally play slightly worse. So don't get frustrated if things don't go the way that you want, because I'm distracting you and you're thinking about lots of new things.
Yeah.
But the main thing for me is just to get you an idea of how it is to like think about these things in game. You could maybe place another tentacle on that bottom wall now, like towards your tower. Or on the top wall. Ah, your tentacle's on cooldown actually. I would probably go top wall near the tower. There we go. And now when he walks in, you've got like that extra tentacle. So you can contest that one, but you've still got your other one. Okay. It can be really tempting to W the wave like you did there, but you actually don't want to do it, because then it starts pushing back into him. And then it's really difficult, and now you have to base TP.
Yeah.
Actually, he's pushing into you, so you can stay now. If he decided to let it come towards him, then you would have had the base TP, but he didn't, so. I would just hold this wave here. Just let him move. You pinged them, you can't move. There's nothing you can do about it. You just make him miss the wave. It's 2 for 2, so. Hold the wave. Okay, you're kind of at risk of getting dove now. I'll try to clear this wave when you can, and then base TP. Okay, huge.
That was pretty lucky, though. Very
I
lucky.
think there's 2 things you can do here. One is greedy, which is you push it and then recall. The other one is this, and you TP on the minion and then you push it, which is less greedy.
Yeah.
The greedy one saves your teleport. So it's like, yeah, I would be fine if you did either. This is definitely the more consistent and safe way to play it. So now you can you can either take plates or you can play on that Vi. But this is like, what the Wukong did well there was he created a numbers advantage. But here you can do the same. Vi's eating the wave, that's fine. I would push the next one too.
Okay.
And then from after this one, I would let it start coming back into you. That was really nice though. When you killed the
The whole
Wukong.
gameplay so far feels much safer than in my
It's
usual
really
play.
safe. It's super hard to get ganked, and then if you can get chunks, then you play really aggressive and you push into them, because then you can dive them. Also, you got a really nice tentacle square. He obviously killed one of them, but if you just replace the one he just killed, you've got the perfect square. It's kind of difficult that it's pushing away from you now, though.
Yeah, that was stupid of me to do. I'm just like
Yeah, you'll get used to like not autopilot pushing. It's a habit
yeah, exactly.
to break. I would play careful until your tentacle spawns. Once you've got your tentacle, like now you can play a little bit more. You know, now you can try and push the wave in, but when you have no tentacles as Ilaoi, it's really scary. Can maybe E him through. Nah, he backed all the way off. Oh, nice. Okay, we need a ward to play like this. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm also feeling.
But you're starting to set yourself up for a dirty dive. So, like, if you place the tentacle, the first thing is always to place the tentacle on the tower, and then you try and land the E. Very nice. He just ran into you and died anyway. And now you can push and make him miss the wave. Now, what do you need to figure out right now?
What to do next? Because now it's 14. Already getting turret.
Yeah, that's great. For me, I was going to say you need to figure out where Vi is to take this turret. She's on dragon, so that's fine. Depending on if Wukong was alive, I don't know what his death timer is. Oh, he was actually still dead. You can see it on the right. I would have pushed the next one just because he was dead. But that's fine. I would go top now and catch the wave because you can see it's building back into you. If you had pushed the next one before you recalled, then you could roam from base because you would have that timer where it's pushed deep to create a numbers advantage. But that's definitely what we want to be doing from now. And so the main difficult thing for you, like the thing that separates the good players from the great players, is going to be knowing which version of the numbers advantage to do. So is it the one where you push the tower and make them, and like take the tower, or is it the one where you move around the map? And it's just going to be depending on what's going on.
Wukong has to go back now, right?
Yeah.
And
so in these little, like the lane's more of like a corridor here, right? So you can kind of create some really nice tentacle squares. So if you do like,
should I like push his wave and help him ping for rift?
that's a really good idea, yeah. Oh, oh, this is a good fight. Really nice.
No, fuck.
That's okay. Slight misplay, but I mean, you just absolutely murdered to. Now you definitely ping Rift, because now their jungle and their top have to recall. That's a huge impact that you just made. And their mid has to recall. Numbers advantage created.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's leaving.
Yeah, he's trying to save his TF who's griefing, but sometimes you just have to let them grief. Okay, the wave's kind of deep. Like you could go somewhere else from base, or you could stay and push it. I guess I would have just based and maybe run bot. Okay, yeah, he's there. You definitely have to base. You've got no mana. Now we'll just base and run top. You'll get used to like the timings of how long you have. So that wave's going to come back to you fairly soon. So I would start running top. The deeper it is, the longer you have. Like with that wave, I would say you could roam to mid, but you couldn't roam to bot. Like bot's too far. No. Always, once you're ahead, always get your wave in position first. Unless it's like, like, oh, I'm going to TP into this fight and get a pentakill, then sure. Or like if it's a dragon fight or something. I would also normally save TP for the dragon at this point. A good thing to get into the habit of when you're pushing these waves like this is pressing tab and looking at the objective timers at the top. You also have them on your minimap, so you've got Drake in 1 minute 13, so you can kind of prepare for that, right? You can be like, okay,
Got rift here and then prepare for it.
You just saw Vi top, so I would wait until she's not on top side of the map anymore to drop Rift.
Yeah.
So I'd give it like next wave you could Rift. And what you can look to do is
But
like,
she has the move for Drake now, right? So I'm a
yeah,
little bit safe.
yep. And then like right now you're really strong. So this is one of the times where it's like, okay, you can push and they have to try and stop you. And if they do try and stop you, they're losing pressure on Drake. Now, you could look at the fight here and see what's going on. It looks like your team's winning, but it's just so you know whether you have to TP or not. It looks like you don't have to TP here. Looks like they've won without you. But
Yeah.
sometimes you can be the difference maker in those scenarios. Okay, now Zyra, like Wukong's feeling the pressure. Zyra's moved to you, but now you just back off because Zyra's here. You've done your job. You created the numbers advantage, and your team got dragon, and now you can leave. So she's like, what's she doing? She's homeless. She's just here for no reason.
I have TP. So
I would probably stay actually. Ah, sorry, too
oh
late. The only reason I would stay is because one wave gives you item. It's kind of greedy, but
oh yeah, it's true, it's true.
I mean it's fine either way. Like you can come back and take the wave, and then it's not a huge difference. But at times like that, that's like a really small thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna break the rule of my normal gameplay just to get my item spike.
Yeah.
I'll show you like this looks like an opportunity for a really good top lane play because you want the base to get your item, right? So let's push this all the way to their turret. So it's going to be one more wave. And then recall and buy your item. Perfect. I'm just going to show you some like really simple set plays that you can do a lot. So what you're going to do here is buy your item, walk mid, and ping your team to help you take mid lane turret. Oh, what the? This guy just wants to fist fight you, I guess.
Oh, I have to
I'd stay with your tentacles.
because I'm watching her
Okay,
as well.
yeah, I mean, you got out, it's fine. Okay, we can try it again next wave, maybe? Like, maybe we can push the wave and try again. Because you're still stronger than this guy. Yeah, so you can base and then go... Okay, they're going to take mid lane tower anyway. But what I was going to try and get you to do is go mid from base while you've got all this time, while the wave's really deep pushed. And then you could take mid tower with your team. And then you can go back to top after. That's something you can do. Actually, yeah, you can still do it. The tower's up. So you could like ping them to help you on the tower now as you're on your way. And that lets them know that you're coming.
Should I TP her?
Yeah, it's okay. Just take the tower, and then, like, if they let's say they get really low, right? Also, this whole time, because of what you did with the wave, Wukong is losing minions in top lane, but you're not losing as many as he is. If he decides to stay, because that wave's bouncing back into you. Okay, I would probably start heading back to top now and ping your team to back off. If you look at top lane wave, oh, he just absolutely ran it for zero reason. I mean, that happens sometimes, I guess. And now you can just repeat. You can just push it in. Are your minions just like a lot stronger than theirs or something? Because
Yeah, it feels like it.
it's based on champion levels, so maybe their champions are all really underleveled. Nice, good E. I love Sundered Sky on Ilaoi. Like when you hit the E and then you get the double Sundered Sky proc, one on each of them.
double.
All you have to
So
do in this situation is not die, like realistically, because they have 2 people here, which means that your team is playing the game 4v3 right now. Okay. Okay. I like it. I respect it. Manly as fuck.
uh,
Also, if they have to base here, it's terrible for them. How is Wukong on a killing spree? Yeah, I think that's weird. But like, if you're playing like this
yeah,
and your team's playing 4v3, they should be winning 4v3. You're gonna
yeah,
like you're gonna create an average, like your average scenario is just gonna be that your team are winning, and a lot of the time, like I went through a season where I was playing Nasus in pretty high elo, and I was doing
yeah,
this, and like it looks like your team is carrying a lot of the time because, but the thing is, your teammates are getting like really inflated scores because they're playing the game on easy mode because of what
yeah.
you're doing. So here, dragon's up. You could do with a shop. So yeah, I would base and walk to dragon from base. And their support is top, which means their support as well, Desire has been top for a long time. If the support specifically is ever away from the objective for such a long time like that, the likelihood is they have very little vision on this dragon.
I've never in my whole life ever had the turret that like this time have this much HP. It's insane.
I'd just keep an eye on it. I'd take this dragon and just be careful that you need to base at some point for that Wukong. Losing the first turret is fine. You don't want to lose the second turret. Yeah, this is good. Perfect. How many drakes is that you have now? 3? 2?
3.
3. Nice. So the next one's huge. Great ult TF. Really valuable. Would have been good for you to E him there, even though you wouldn't get
Yeah,
much damage on it, it would just get the slow. I'd probably base and go bot, honestly. Because your team are kind of running around like headless chickens, and that Kassadin's going to get a second turret. Or at least let them know, okay, he's not pushing it. TF's going for it now, so it's fine. You can push and make your little numbers advantage thing going on. Especially like if you look at their tier 2 turret, it's really low, right? So they like really have to do something about you if you're in the side lane. Nice. Ah, that Chubb's just so beautiful. Baron. You just do Baron in these scenarios. Ping your team to do Baron and just take it. I love playing Illaoi into these melee champs like Vi and Wukong, where like their whole champ is just I go in, and then Illaoi's like, okay. Okay, we haven't talked about how to play with Barons yet, but it's going to be very much the same thing. Okay. So you're gonna go to a side lane and you're gonna push it deep, and then from there you've got 2 options.
okay. Here I go bot, right?
Yeah,
Because
push the bot wave as deep as you can, and then once you've pushed it deep, you see whether your team needs you or not. If they do, you'll rotate into them, because the enemy team, when you've got Baron minions on their tower, they have to respond to that. So you can rotate in with your team, and then do you remember when you pushed top, you based, and you went and took mid turret? It's kind of going to be like that, but without the basing. You're just going to walk straight there. Because the goal with Baron is to get towers. He has no mana. Nice, goodie. Very nice. Oh, look mid. You maybe TP. On Zyra plants.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. He's run it down mid now. And then because you see how you're pushing this mid, right? You see how because of
Yeah.
what you did on bot lane, you pushed. So that means that after you've pushed mid,
I can go bot.
you can go bot and you can push that with Baron too. There's more stuff to do because you got the wave in position first. And once your team have taken the inhib, you ping them to help you. You want to, at all costs, you want to make them not stay in the enemy base. Like, ping them to come and help you take this. And maybe you can get bot inhibitor too with your team. Because the number one way people throw games is they take inhibitors and then they just stay in the base doing nothing and then they die. It's fine to base now. Okay. When you're basing, you can decide what you're going to do. Oh, he's kind of griefing it. Oh my god, you one-shot that guy. Yeah, I would base. You've got Dragon Soul coming up in 1 minute. So what's the lane that you want to push to affect this Dragon Soul? Yes, exactly. You want to be opposite it to draw pressure away, and then you have the option to move. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So when you're basing, you're thinking about like what's my next goal and where am I going to go to make that happen. And even though TF is top and it's kind of awkward for you, it's still the right place for you to be. So
Yeah, because as you said, if I push this turret, I can guarantee they have to answer here.
yeah, they have to answer on the top inhib, and if they're answering on top inhib, they can't. You just get soul for free. So this is how you use your pressure. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like it's just creating numbers advantages. And some of the time when you've created a numbers advantage, you've also just outplayed them and killed them anyway, which is great. If you can do both, that's huge. Like here, you can even push it onto their nexus.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to play the dragon. Okay, they've got 3 people in the base now. So you can just back off. You can even go and play with your team now. Like, you've got so many minions in their base, they're just stuck in their base. Now, how do you end this game as a team? Which lane do you go to?
I'd say bot lane here.
Yes, yes. A lot of solo queue teammates will try and go mid. You need to shepherd them away from mid. You need to help them realize that bot is the right place to go. There's a lot of it's like controlling sheep in solo queue because people do dumb stuff like staying in the base after taking inhibs, and you just have to try to stop them doing that. But now you've got soul and 3 inhibs. It's really, really difficult to lose from this point. She ulted a Wukong clone.
Okay, that was a way different game.
Yeah.
Than the last
So
game.
this playstyle is very controlled and safe, right?
Yeah.
So there's one more thing for me to say, and that is, in the games, sometimes it'll be 10 minutes into the game and your team is 0-10, right? Your team are just getting absolutely rolled.
Yeah.
Those are the games, where you would just absolutely send it before? Those are the games where you do absolutely send it, because you have to do something crazy to win those games, so you may as well try. Even if you go 0-10 as well by trying to do it, if you play controlled in a game where your team's 0-10 at 10 minutes, you're going to lose. So you may as well just send it. But yeah, in most games you play this controlled style, and then it's the case of knowing when to do that. There is one more thing I want to show you in practice tool before we close off. because it was about you landed that E under the tower, and you could have not taken the tower damage. So I'm going to try
I'll
and
just go to the
demonstrate that.
bathroom.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
I'm not big on sermons. Broken bones teach better lessons.
Let's see.
It is my burden to carry an eye of God. It is my privilege to see the truth.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
My ping is not happy when I stream on Discord and stream on.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
I just need a minion wave, so let me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna E this guy under the tower, right? And then I'm gonna try to not get tower aggro. So it's kind of outside the tower actually. Let me do this again.
Your spirit is held.
Put it there. Okay. I took tower aggro that time. But basically what you're trying to do is you wait until the tower is shooting a minion, and while it's shooting it, it can't hit you.
Oh.
So if I E him here, so like there I can go.
Oh, okay.
There I can go, and it won't hit me. And
It
it's
makes
just like a
sense.
timing thing. Because while
makes
it's
it-
in its shot, it has to like reload, you know?
Yeah, it's really smart. And now that you say it, I can like sometimes I pull it off. Like okay,
Yeah,
now,
without trying.
yeah, but that's why, because it's shooting. Okay, now I know.
So there I
this.
will take a shot, but if I wait until then I should... No, it was too late. It's kind of awkward on Ilaoi because the tentacles like randomly get aggro as well sometimes.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it's just a timing thing and you can practice it. I'm used to doing it on champs like Kennen. Like you'll walk under the tower and hit them and the tower won't even hit them and they get really frustrated. But yeah, that's like one final tip.
Oh, okay.
Alright. How'd you find all of that? Do you have any questions or anything else you want to go over?
Not really right now, but probably have a couple of questions when I've played a bunch. Like
Yeah,
this
sure.
base fight.
I mean, you've got my Discord, so whenever you want, just hit me up. And
But overall, it's very like the information, like the small part of everything was very like it was needed. Like I needed some of this, like just like the technical part. Like don't fight without the technical. Sometimes I fight without a technical and I feel really weak. But now that you say that, like Ilau is very weak without any tentacles, then I know, okay, I can't play around this. I can't take this fight. I can't. So it's just a tentacle part of it all was very useful for me. Also, where to place it and the cooldown. Okay, now I can go up and place this, and it's perfect, man.
all right, nice,
It's
great. The VOD will be here if you want to watch it back at all. Like if you forget something, you can just go and see where we covered it. There's the whole recording, so
Okay.
there you go. So yeah, I'm happy you're happy.
Nice. I'll probably book you again sometime soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
If I want to like to take another champion or something, and I need like a little bit of information on it.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck in your games, and hopefully it helps. Like I said, don't worry if you notice you're struggling with some things because there's a lot to implement all at once.
Yeah.
It'll take a while for it all to get in, but the more you practice these things, the more they'll become like autopilot, and then you can just do them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay. Thank you for everything. Have a nice day, man.
Thanks for joining. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.